Hello, everyone. My name is Brooke Murray, and this is my culture collage. So, first, I'm going to talk about my culture and my ethnic origin. My family tree this is what I found on Ancestry.com. My name is Brooke Murray, Brooke Adams Murray, and my father's name is Harold C. Adams, and my mother's name is Kelly Ann Moss. Now, my father was adopted, so I do not know of his biological background. But as far as my mother, her father's name was James Moss, and her mother's name was Doris A. White. They both lived in Indiana for mostly all of their lives. My mother did as well. She lived in Indiana until she got married to my father, and then she moved to Louisville, Kentucky. I also found my DNA makeup. So most of my origins, I am Caucasian. My family history comes from the England, Northwestern Europe territory, about 36%. Then Germanic Europe, 22%. And then Scotland would be the next highest one, 15%, and then the Baltic Sea area, 8%. My mother's mother came from Lithuania. My values, norms, and behaviors of my culture. In my culture, coming from Louisville, Kentucky, we value respect, we value friendship, we value honesty, and we value adults. The norms, we are big on family time. Family is very, very important. We have dinner every night as a family. We talk about things that happened through the day. We go to church every Sunday because we are Irish Catholic, and we believe that God will be mad at you if you don't go to church, pretty much. That's what I learned growing up. And we hug, we tell each other we love ourselves every night, or love our family, love each other every night. In my culture, we don't have a high value on education. I will be the first one in my family to get a bachelor's degree, but we do value hard work. We value respect and love, and we value church. Some behaviors, like I spoke of, we are a Southern culture. This is a picture from the Kentucky Derby, which is super, super important in the state of Kentucky. It's they shut down the schools for an entire week, and so we value horse racing. It's a huge thing every year, but we love each other. We hug. We believe in affection, and that's always been very important to my family. How do these values, norms, and behaviors play a part in my current values, attitudes, and behaviors? I carry all my values from my family over with me. Hard work, super important. Respect for parents, telling each other that how much you care about them, letting people know how you feel about them. Church, I take my children to church, or I did before the pandemic, every Sunday. I told them about God and talked to them about the Bible. Church has always been a very important part of our lives. When growing up, I went to a Catholic school, and we would go to church every Thursday and Sunday, and if you didn't go to church, then you could not go out with your friends on the weekend. That was just something that was important to my family. So I've carried that over with my family, and we talk about not talking back, not being mean to each other. We talk about forgiving each other. All these are important values, like we learned in chapter 2 of our book about the values, the histories of our culture. So have I learned about the values of my culture and the attitudes that I carry along with me. And here's a picture of a family that are going to church together on a Sunday, probably, or Saturday night. And this is what my family would do or look like every Sunday. How these values, norms, and behaviors play out in my interactions with others. Obviously, I carried over the norms of the hugging. I hug my friends, I hug my family, I hug people I meet for the first time or shake their hands. That's just, we do eye contact with everyone. We try to be good listeners. We try to value other people's opinions, not get into big debates. Obviously, coming from Kentucky, it's a more cultural, conservative culture. So we try to not talk about politics on a normal basis, but we do have a more conservative view. Growing up, that's how we lived, and we were very in depth with history. I learned about history my entire life. My mom, my dad, they would take us to historical landmarks and tell us the whole battle scene and all that fun stuff. So all that was really important, and I am trying to carry those values over with my family, my friends, and just show the love and the respect for everyone that I meet that I have learned when I grew up. How a biblical worldview interplays with my values, norms, and behaviors. I grew up as a God-fearing woman. I grew up knowing and hearing that God was always watching. God saw everything and did everything that you did, and if you weren't good, you would go to hell. Everything was, if you didn't do the right thing, you were going to hell. So I carried that over with me, just terrified that if I did the wrong thing, that God was watching me and I would go to hell. So I am not going to say that to my children, obviously, but I have God in every aspect of my life. And I know that everything I do, I want Him to be proud of me for doing and to love me for who I am. Now, one thing about reading the book, I learned many different things. We see in every culture, in every state, we've learned that there's aging population. There's cultural diversity going on everywhere you go. In Kentucky, they are not as open about cultural diversity, but they have become more diverse, and the cultures are starting to intermingle. So I have seen that, and from chapter 1, I've learned that aging population, the overpopulation, the economic changing, we have to all work together. So I'm hoping that Kentucky becomes more intertwined and more understanding of different cultures and really starts to accept other values and other histories and other societies, and to really come together and start to be more accepting. And I have learned that I want to be that person, a more accepting person, a more loving person, and that's what I'm going to carry with me, and I'm going to love God and love the world and love the culture for what it is. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I enjoy learning about each one of you all. Thank you.